Oh, here we are. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Woo!
As everybody starts flying in for Black Mirror, it is really good to have you all back here. We're missing West Side Girl Reacts, Mr. Mayork, but if he comes, we'll bring him up. But y'all may be familiar with some of the faces here in the fish tank because we've all been hanging out together before. We've got Charlie Welch next to me, and next to Charlie Welch, we've got Clarence, and we've got Mousy in her tank. And you might know this guy here. This what's his name? Al or Cats or Patrick. Pat, what is it this year? But thanks for coming back, Cats.
Love it. Love it. Love a bit of Black Mirror talk.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks everybody coming on in, and thanks for the mods. Yeah, sorry Purple, I forgot to let you know, like we were gonna be live today. Hey Mrs. Cassandra, thanks for showing up. Darth and Kat and everybody just coming in. If I don't say hi, sorry. Sometimes like I've got 3 different chats moving here. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at the same time. And I think who else is Mousy? Who else is streaming to their channel too?
I am.
Is it bringing in your? I think it's bringing in your people also from your channel, isn't it?
It is, because Bear Bond Brand here is here, and Cat Ninja, and Jeff Elms Aquatics. You get fishy people now.
We got some fishy people here too. So welcome everybody. It's really good to see everybody. But today it's not going to be fishes. It's all about Black Mirror. I am Brooker obsessed, as you all know, with this series. I do. But to crack it off, like some of you are not as big of fans as I am. I know like some of you haven't even watched all of them. And so I feel very privileged that you would even watch it to come do this with me and to try to enjoy it. But what I really enjoyed is all of your reactions after you do like just watching one or just one with me. And first question is, have any of you watched any more? Especially you, Charlie, because you're pretty picky about which ones you watch and what you view.
I think I ended up only omitting 1 or 2 episodes from this season just because I could tell, if I'm not going to be into it, I'm not going to watch it. But that's more than usual. And the one that I think it was dumb luck that the episode that you handed me ended up probably be, other than what's it called, Metalhead, it was probably my favorite episode out of all the seasons.
Well, it wasn't just what you did Plaything with me with the Thronglets and all, and it wasn't actually dumb luck. It's because you actually did Bandersnatch with me on the standalone, did you not? Like with all the multiple endings, and we did that together, and it kind of like went together. So I thought you would like be kind of comfortable with that.
Yeah, but I love end of the world stuff because I'm dark and gloomy. But the way that ended, that was one of my favorite, probably my favorite episode, other than Metalhead, out of everything.
Yeah, I knew you would like that kind. I knew you would love that kind of ending. Metalhead is still one of the best ones out there. As far as those that like just having the Band-Aid ripped off in horror and shock and feeling like you really saw something disturbing for the last hour and a half. Like Metalhead definitely does that. Especially the ending. But this one, Mousy, it's calming people, right?
Metalhead, is that the one with the robotic dog?
Dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That once they catch a sniff, robot or not, like that's it. Like they just don't let go. Like there's just like and it was like very like bleak.
Shot in black and white, very noir.
Yeah, no,
an emotional roller coaster. And
I have seen it. I just sometimes get confused by the episode titles and
so it had one of the most dramatic endings because you kind of know what happens, but they don't like tell you what happens, but you know what happens. And there's the whole like question of would you or would you not, like, trying to put yourself in that situation. It was pretty rough.
Very similar to Plaything, like the way Plaything ended. It's like it didn't show what happened, but it dropped you enough that this is basically the end of the world.
Yeah. Well, when you watched them all drop like flies, you kind of figured out what happened. Like everybody just stopped moving all over the world. Like they're all like, just dropped. So yeah, it didn't leave too much. Not like common people, which we did now see the very first one with the door scene.
Mhm.
If you heard that, my grandson's art just flew off the wall. Okay.
That's good art.
Yeah, that's good art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right there.
Yeah, but with the door closing and the did he, didn't he, like, and would you, like, kind of thing, the same kind of ending.
We're not talking about Diddy, okay?
Yeah.
He wants us to, though. Like, he wants us to. Yeah. I have to get back online and talk about that. It's been rough to get online during the week, but so actually, Clarence, when it comes to season 7, the episode that you cover with me, Eulogy, you did Eulogy with me, right? I got that
Yep.
right? That actually happens to be one of the standout alones, like as far as views and as far as people giving a lot of feedback. Because
Oh yeah.
I guess for me, it was because of the actor, Paul Giamatti. Like that was one of the best performances. And people are saying it was, he's such a character actor anyway. He's an outstanding actor, but it was actually one of his best performances as far as emotional. Like people
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this when I was when we were on the stream, but when I watched that episode, it was the day after I'd been to my uncle's funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you did say something was coming up. I don't know if we got into the details of it.
Yeah.
How did that hit then? Like, because that was all about preserving the memories of someone and about that whole process, not as close. This was someone from his past, like way distant.
Yeah, because I mean, how I sort of related it, it was sort of like the stories you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the full stories of what people have done in their lives. Like I say, because when I went to my uncle's funeral, I found out things about him that I didn't know before.
Yeah,
it's like that movie Big Fish,
and you sort of wish
that
actually you had taken time to know him better, to find out more.
That's where that technology would be such a blessing for some people, like because of the combined memories, all like that, and the helping to dig out like all of that stuff and the whole process. Because those, going to services after, especially, the big dinners and the repasses and everything where everybody tries to give each other comfort and you tell the stories and you kind of celebrate the life rather than, dwelling on the sadness part of it. All those great stories and things that you learn. I agree with you. That's that's the jump start of that whole healing process. And Brooker did such a great job of like putting a spotlight on it with, wouldn't this be like really cool? And like, here's some of the good things and bad things that could happen again with technology and whether the people themselves are going with it or not. Like how the use of it is really up to the human being, on whether it's a positive or negative thing. Well, I mean, because he was not like, he had a lot to deal with that in that particular episode. Paul Giamatti had to deal with the fact that maybe he wasn't recognized, like remembering things the way they actually happened.
Yeah.
Like there's two sides to a story, and now he's confronted with the other side of it because the AI or the intervention, the I just call that little thing a nubbin. I can't help it. Like it was very. That's the one thing with season 7, which you all agree that technology, as far as Black Mirror, if you've been watching it from the beginning, technology took a front seat again. Like every episode, it was very tech heavy. It was driven by tech again, which is very old school Black Mirror, very traditional how he used to do it. And Charlie Brooker himself said he was, he had that feel about it, and it was intentional. like a lot of the stuff that he did, because there's some stuff he did with season 7 that's got me scratching my head. Because everything for me seemed to tie in more to older episodes, and not like in a repeat kind of way. It wasn't like he was repeating an idea. It was more like he took an idea that he presented in a story or in one of the episodes and then just like retold it to emphasize the point again, because like everything was different, both the technology part and this human interference part, the interference part in all of the episodes for season 7 was a big part of that. Like, here's technology and this is great and this can be something to enhance your life, and then what did some dumb human do with it to mess it up?
Yeah.
Makes you kind of think that he's maybe wrung all the juice out of this that he thinks he can while staying original and true to it.
You do, except for you hear, like, I've actually did a lot of research in his post season comments, because that's usually a key about like whether he's run out or tired or needs a break, or with any creator. But actually he's juiced. He says he has so much in the box already, because he's coming off a long hiatus where all of his stuff was tied up in a copyright kind of battle with another company that owned the rights to everything. And now he has his own production company and a deal with Netflix. Like, he's actually able to produce it all under his own umbrella, and he's got this distribution kind of thing with Netflix, and he's very excited. He actually says he's got multiple seasons ready and in his head, written and ready to go with the team that he's got.
Well, that's my theory shot. Thanks.
Yeah, well, Charlie, because like the last thing I want to do is talk about the end of Black Mirror. I mean, talk about like, my God, like ruin my life on a Saturday. I'm just sitting here in Jersey waiting for a hurricane like normal, this time of year. You can't take Black Mirror from me. Yeah, the use. Yeah. Well, the episode that we did, Cats, Bête Noire, right? Like that was something. Like that was probably the wildest one for me, I think.
Yeah, I love that. That was the one that reminded me most of maybe like an old school Twilight Zone, where it really went, well, I suppose into the Twilight Zone. The way that reality just got played with and all the boundaries broken as the episode went on, and when you finally realized what was happening, yeah, it was good. I loved it. It wasn't my favorite one of the series, but it's definitely in my top half. I really thought it was a good one.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Yeah.
For everyone who has watched it, what was the name of the restaurant in the version you watched?
Did they put different versions out for people?
I don't remember.
Yeah, they put two cuts out. One it was
really?
called Bernie's, one it was called Barney's.
For the Mandela effect kind of thing to
it is, and I think when we covered it, we went back, and the actual one is, which is it, Barney's or Bernie? Oh my God, now I don't remember. But we had to go back to older Black Mirror episodes to find the Easter eggs that had the hats and had the like menus and stuff. And I think it was Bernie's that it actually turned down to.
I think it was originally called Barney's.
Barney's, right? So
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
50-50 chance.
Yeah, because we went back and I watched other episodes and I found the Easter egg, because like even in like the menu was in other episodes of the menu, and the hat and everything kept reappearing. But that's the thing about that episode, because now I'm confused, because that's what that episode did. They said, oh, it could be this and then it could be this, and then they kept switching it on you over and over again. And not just that, like everything in the episode, because that is one of the main themes now that everyone on the internet, like when I say everyone, I just mean those that are talking like about Black Mirror, and those that are like, doing commentary on it, and the fan clubs, and, the pro Charlie Brookers and the not so pro Charlie Brooker fans are actually pointing to the fact that it is now confirmed that this is not like multiple universe. This is a multi-universe instead of like, as far as Black Mirror, that everything is happening at the same time but
Yeah.
in different layers, you know, and then they use Bête Noire to like prove it. And then I actually found statements of Charlie Brooker himself and his other producer Jones.
Okay. I mean, oh, Annabelle Jones.
Yeah, Annabelle. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember watching the episode and thinking, because I took French in high school and it was called Bête Noire, and I was like, so it means stupid black? So then I had to look at, because I thought Bête meant stupid, which it does, but it also means beast, so it's Black Beast.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the what do you call it? The little symbol above the E that changes it.
I think it's an accent aigu.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Just oh, that's kind of weird. I'm just like, can one of the mods just confirm to me that you're in the YouTube chat for my channel and that we are live? Because I'm getting feedback from other lives, and I show it as live. I don't see any issue. I just want to double check that maybe on their end they didn't refresh or something, you know, because it's like, yeah, right, like, yeah, because
Yeah, it's playing live.
I see the live chat for my YouTube channel, Nate. And I also see it for Mousie's though. Yeah. Whoop. Mousie just disappeared though. Where'd you go, Mouse? Okay.
Excuse me.
But I see that she's still live too. She just fell out here. She has trouble with her internet sometimes, but yeah. So I don't know. Yep, there she is. I heard the pop.
Sorry. All of a sudden, just everything went bloop.
No, that's cool. Like no. That's you're going to have internet issues too. Sometimes I do. That's why I'm checking, because sometimes, as you all know, we're all streamers. Like your internet is doing stuff you don't even know behind the scenes. You think everything is going great, and I know there's been plenty of times that Katz and I have been sitting here talking to ourselves, thinking we're talking to everybody out there. And like YouTube has decided that, because we remember when we were doing the covers, the challenge, and we were trying to cover stuff, and whenever they just decided, they would take us off the air in the middle of the stream for a few minutes. It was weird, and then bring us back. It was so odd. Like, I've never had that happen before. Yeah. No, I'm glad you checked, Teresa. No worries. It's not a problem at all. But so Katz, did you watch any of the other episodes of season 7 after we did ours? I know you've been so busy.
No, I'm a massive Black Mirror fan. I've seen every episode of every season. I wouldn't miss it. So yeah, I definitely saw them.
My dude, they just won my heart. Like, you just so now, besides the one we did, because of course you know more about that, because you had a little more to participate in it. But was there one that stuck out, like, that you were really fond of?
Yeah, the sequel to the SS Callister, and when I first heard that they were doing a sequel to it, I wasn't sure how they'd pull that off, but I just thought it was so clever the way that they've gone, right, well, if you can create this universe where you've got clones that are on this spaceship, then yeah, of course, why not have just like a huge number of universes where he's cloned himself, where he's doing his work for himself, if that makes sense. Like, why not do it? I thought it was brilliant that they actually did that, and he'd made himself like a working slave, if you like, and it was a great.
He made himself the god of his own universe.
Yeah, he did. And it was one of the things when you watched the first episode, like the original, that was left hanging, that you were like, well, why, how did they just get rid of him like that? That doesn't seem plausible since he's such a genius. And it was one of the things that people were talking about after that season. And so to have it addressed immediately in the sequel was great, because it's so almost like they just, and the way they started it, like right from that point forward. I was surprised you didn't want to do that episode, actually, Katz, because when it first came out and I saw that there was, I said, oh yeah, he's going to want to do that, like, because it's very techie. It's very like Star Trek-y,
Well, I think what it was is I didn't think they'd be able to pull off a sequel to it, and I was so wrong, because I thought the sequel was so good. So I thought that's probably going to be my least favorite, and it wasn't. It turned out to be my favorite of the bunch. So my bad.
It did get press before it even came out because people were like, "Why, Charlie? Like, why would you do that? You never do that, you know." But
it was brilliant, though. It was so clever the way he pulled it off. You know, really good.
Again, he exceeded expectations. Like he just lets people say, he doesn't know what he's doing, blah blah blah. He's gonna ruin everything, and then he's like, yeah, how'd you like that? How you like me now? It really was success. It really was successful. I don't think it disappointed at all. I wasn't even really into the first one. Like it kind of scared me a bit to the whole thing about giving that much power to somebody who's that intelligent and has that much technology knowledge and can control things. Like, it's going to go bad, right? It's just like the last thing you want to do is give a antisocial nerd with emotional issues like complete control of the world. I mean, how could that go right? Like, how could that go well? So like it was very unsettling for me because a lot of the things I thought would happen, the control issues and all of that was happening like right in front of us. I'm like, how do you survive that?
Yeah, it does ask some big questions, doesn't it, Black Mirror? And it's not afraid to go there, is it? It's not afraid to raise those uncomfortable topics. But
look where they left it. Like now, where they left is in that particular end of that sequel, where the ending there is ripe for more.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, the way he left it, like he could actually do an offshoot of just that. Starting from like, it was kind of comedic, the ending, and then again horrifying to think that the rest of her life they're going to be like in her head everywhere.
And she's going to have to watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta for the rest of her life.
Contract out the bathroom and the alone time, that was cracking me up. I mean, can you imagine like having a conversation with the voices in your head about issues and where you can go and where you can't go? I mean, they just like that kind of like thrilled me with the reality of it. Like, damn, what that would be like. Like, I don't know, I would go crazy. But they all just seem to accept it. I guess life and death situations, they were just like happy it all just still exists. Mouse, you covered that one for me. That was really, that was
a good one.
It was intense. You did a great job with that. She had all of the all of the eggs and everything. This season alone had some of the episode had like zillions of them. When it comes to plaything, right, Charlie? I couldn't even keep up.
Yeah, just in his office alone, that was where they all were.
Yep. And it just like in Bandersnatch, that's where they all were too. Like, because he was like, into technology and the gaming and that whole, the Colin character and everything, who Charlie's been taking a lot of flack for that, for bringing that character back the way that he did and actually making a sequel that's not a sequel. Like, Plaything doesn't have anything to do with Bandersnatch except the character, except the game tech character of Colin, who's the fantastical creator.
I can't stand that actor, and I can't get past it.
You love to hate him, don't you?
Yeah.
He's
Will
very
Poulter.
Yeah.
Oh no, Son of Rambo is a good film.
Yeah. Oh, is that another one that I'll have to check that out.
This is a film that the actor who plays Colin Whitman was in.
Yeah. Well, Colin, he's very unsettling just as an actor like himself. He plays the character very well because the character itself is.
I think he was on the show Gotham too, if I'm not mistaken.
Was he? Who did he play on that?
I think he was like a young Joker. I might be way off.
Well, yeah, he has the face for it. Like, now that you mention it, like he does have the look. Maybe he was. That would be cool. But that whole thing was a little unsettling for me too. Like, live action gameplay. Did anybody play? Did you play Thronglets? Charlie.
I did.
Hell no.
Did you, Clarence? Did you take care of them? Or were you good?
Did, but I couldn't make any progress in the game because I reached a point where my Thronglets just didn't trust me anymore. So they wouldn't eat the food I gave them, and they'd all just starve to death and die.
Oh, it's so sad.
Did that really happen?
That is
Yeah.
sad.
Oh, I'm all of a sudden I'm back to my childhood in Tamagotchi hell. Like, you would have to leave your Tamagotchi or whatever that damn thing was with your relatives to feed it. Like if you wanted to do anything else, and eventually everybody gave them to me, and they would die because I wouldn't take care of them. They were like, yeah, right, whatever. No, I don't think I'd be very good as a thronglet guardian either.
Yeah.
Actually, because it's all built in to challenge you. Like if you're not consistent and all this. Oh my God, how traumatic! You killed a whole race of
I
creatures.
didn't kill them. They chose. They
That's even
chose death.
Parents are a little worse. When you say it out loud, that's the horrible part. You said, I didn't kill them. They chose to die.
Francis cats did the same thing.
They had the choice. I gave them food.
They didn't eat it.
I gave them the food for them to eat, and they refused to eat it.
What were you giving them?
It's just like apples. That's what it gives you to feed.
Ground up thronglet.
Soylent Green.
None of all their relatives.
Little tiny charcuterie boards.
Soylent Green is thronglets.
Yeah. But that was cool. I had so much fun talking with people who were playing the game and all, even before I did the episode. Like so many people got into it. But that's something where Charlie Brooker has put his finger on the pulse of what goes on. Interactive play with actually the series itself, like Bandersnatch, that had multiple different endings. In even the when we did Bet Noir, where things were like they were one way, but they were a different way. Right. It's like, and just playing into that and giving you something to do outside of the series that's still connected with the series, Well, the whole feel of that comes kind of from Bandersnatch, that interactive for every single one of our episodes that we did, guys. And Bandersnatch was there. Yeah. Bandersnatch was in every single one of them. Do any of you remember how?
I know it's on the book.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's it, Mousy. In every single episode of season 7, there's an Easter egg of the placement of the Bandersnatch book, that orange and black book cover, in bookcases, especially in Colin's office. There was like multiple references, but even in Common People, it was there. It was in Eulogy. It was on the desk, in Plaything, obviously, and even in the USS Callister replay, Bet Noir, and even in Hotel Reverie, which was the one that Mr. Mayor did with me. They even had references to it there. The book was on one of the technicians' desks, the writer's desk, I think, or no, the tech's desk, that was like, saying how the whole system was crashing. It was right there off to the side, just sitting there like a manual, which it took me a while to find them all. But I kind of, after the second one that I found in the Easter eggs, I said, what is going on here? Like, why is this book in 2 episodes? I wonder.
Easter eggs are so fun. That's what I do when I watch Stephen King adaptations, because they're rife with those and those also.
I've been really getting into it. The first couple of seasons that I did Black Mirror reviews, usually the person that I did them with was the one doing all the Easter egg stuff. They were really into it. But now that I do it with different people all the time, I kind of took that on and I really started to get into it. And it is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work, because I try not to read all the stuff that's out there about it until I try to find them myself.
And then you're paying too close attention, because you're like, every word that's mentioned, every name that's uttered, you're like trying to dig up, even if it doesn't have a connection.
True. And then, nerd that I am, but I am a big Brooker fan, and I watch every episode at least 3 times routinely. But for season 7, I have to say I watched each one at least 5 times, and I could still go and watch them again because I'm still missing stuff. Like, I found, for me, the acting, the emotional impact of the acting was more prevalent in this season with the tech, like just the influence the tech had on the actors themselves, their characters. like emotionally in their lives. Like,
Definitely agree. Like Plaything
Yeah.
was a very simple episode. It was basically, for the most part, 3 people at a table.
right. But how about those detectives' faces as he's explaining
Yeah,
his
good
life?
acting. Yeah,
And they're not even saying a word, and yet you know exactly how they're feeling at the moment. You watch them going through the realization of what's going on, like, and the horror. Like, it was exceptional acting. I mean, me being a fan, I say this often, about Brooker. He's got a real talent for pulling together teams for whatever project that he's doing that just works so well together, on everything. It's just really incomparable to a lot of things, because they're not together that long. It's only 8 episodes. Like, it's not an ensemble for a long series, like a 21 season series where they all know what each other want and everything. Like, they actually mesh together that quickly. And now it's to the point that everybody who works on one of his episodes actually does the Easter egg thing themselves. Like, Charlie Brooker has to watch it to figure out where some of them are, because everybody on the set is placing them around, like, and doing stuff that he don't even know. I think he was in charge of the Bandersnatch book one, but like other stuff, like he doesn't know. Like when they do the candy machines and they put like the candy from Bête Noire like in the vending machines in other episodes, and freakily enough did that in episodes from before, like, and then they tie it all into Bête Noire later, so you actually think like, well, which came first? Like,
I bet they hide props at his house when they go over for dinner parties.
how many Bandersnatch books did he get in the mail, right? I wonder.
Honey, the toilet's making that noise again. Lifts up the tank to fix it. There's a freaking Bandersnatch book in there.
It was, just to pull around to some of the statistics, that Brooker's got to be really pleased with this season, because Rotten Tomatoes, which is where I go. You guys have Rotten Tomatoes in the UK?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So like, it's either IB, what is it, IDMB or IB, whatever.
IMDb.
IMDb.
Yeah. Or Rotten Tomatoes. And Rotten Tomatoes is listing like season 7 as higher than almost any other season so far. And funny enough, like, they thought season 6, because everybody had waited so long, like season 6 had a better opening with the first episode, but then so they were worried at first, when the first episode of season 7 played, because it didn't outdo season 6. But then episode 2 came up in Bête Noire, the one that we did, Cats, and it blew the numbers away immediately. It became like number 1 out of the whole series, besides the opening season of Black Mirror, which opened on quite a political note and had to be changed. Here in the United States, it opened up with the pig.
Hey, that one.
and then it got changed all of a sudden. If you go watch season 1, that is no longer the opening one. Like, they had to move it along a little bit. And a different one, they switched it up because
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, it was quite controversial. It was like, Charlie, was trying.
I'm sure everyone knows the story of art imitating life around that. Around that episode.
The Americans might not though.
Actually, we do, because like, if you're a Black Mirror fan, he is in that prime minister is in every bulletin news report on the bottom hashtag. Whenever they do the news bulletins, his name comes up all the time. Like, that's one of the Easter eggs that goes from season to season. I mean, Charlie Brooker's obsessed with that story. Like, he's talking about it,
But if in case there is anyone who isn't aware of it, a few months after the first episode of Black Mirror aired, a story came out about former UK Prime Minister David Cameron. During his days at university, he put his penis in a pig's mouth.
Mm-hmm. And is that art imitating life, or what? Or do you think that, like, do you think Brooker knew about that when he wrote the series?
Well, he says not. He says it's just one of the weirdest coincidences. That's
Whole new meaning to pulled pork.
Oh,
Uh, was delicious. That was good and painful at the same time, Charlie. That was very good. But you know, now like unfortunately for Mr. Cameron, he is definitely engraved in the history of Black Mirror. Like repeatedly, it keeps coming up because like they keep bringing up that character that it happened to in all of the little bulletins that happen across the screen in research articles. You'll see it flash an article about him getting a divorce, how the wife just couldn't deal with the other pig or whatever it was in their lives, or like really weird stuff like that. It just keeps popping up, or something else he's doing, some office he's running for, and they're just not letting it go. They're just not letting it go. But that also supports this multiverse kind of thing where everything's happening at the same time, but in a different version. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in season 8, actually. And I'm wondering where he's going to go. Where can he go next? Really, he's
AI is a big thing, isn't it? I wonder if he'll lean more into. I know he's done AI stuff in the past, but whether he'll do a lot more AI focused.
I'd like some more space stuff because that's my favorite, and I think the possibilities there are endless.
Yeah, he did do a good job on the or is that sequel there and tying all that up? You seem to know the technology alone on the spaceship and everything was very, very Star Trek and very, very kind of old school, with the beam me up and the, warp speed and all of that. Like it was very big throwback to all of that. But cinematography, like I like to talk about like some of the people behind the scenes that make each episode so unique. There was a lot of different cinematographers who had such unique style and presentation. And one of them was the one that we did with Mr. Mayor, was on the Hotel Belvedere, like that one in black and white, and that whole thing. That actually was a little AI influence, like a bit heavily, like I would think, the whole technology there, because it's real and it's not real. All of the people that were in that alternate space that they were creating the movie were AI generated people, fake, based on other humans, and she couldn't really tell the difference, and even the main character just actually dealing with the other actress from the film, like it was so real. It kind of is a statement definitely on AI. He definitely made statements on it before in some of the other episodes. The one where you could bring back your loved one, which
What, is that
I forget the
one
name
of
of
Haley
it.
Atwell?
Dan Jenner.
That was tough.
Not Shannon Jenner.
And you get to bring them back, but like, are they really themselves? Do they actually have, like everything there? And would you? So he does deal with it, just not the way like we're all dealing with it right now. I wonder if he'll do something on the world being taken over by like fake streams, and nobody can tell if it's you or not. Do
That would be interesting.
I mean, well, yeah, the AI, you have a virtual job and the AI just shows up and does it. Like, who's going to believe it's you or not you? And then the AI just decides it wants to take over, and it just ruins your life for you.
He'll probably do a sequel to the episode with the bees.
Oh, please, Barrett, please. Like, no. What is that, like most hated in the nation or something like that? Those damn bees, they still terrify me. That's another thing about technology being so good. They created those assassin bees, not to be assassins, but to actually solve the food shortage issue of the bees dying out and the pollination thing. And it was so great. And then some madman uses them to, as assassins for revenge, and just gets
into. This is why we can't have nice things.
There's nothing worse than the thought of a mechanical bee crawling up your nose into your brain. I'm sorry. There's nothing worse than that. Like, I just, yeah, no. I'm surprised you remember that. I must make a big deal out of it, Clarice. Did you remember?
You do.
It does traumatize me. It definitely, that episode, like doing that episode really freaked me out. Like, a lot of his stuff kind of freaks me out, but I liked it. I'm a little nerdy that way. That's good entertainment to me if you get under my skin and you make me remember this stuff. Like, especially nowadays, right? Like today, everything just hits us all so fast. Like we have so much information coming at us like 24/7. Like you can't get away from it. If you take your phone anywhere with you, you're just like you got information coming at you 24/7. So much to deal with. And then, you know, for a creator to actually get me to stop and pay attention to the small details and what they're actually saying and doing, that's an accomplishment. You know, that's like real entertainment. You know, it be just takes me out of my comfort zone, you know. But yeah. So if you've watched every episode, Cats, now I got to ask you, what's your favorite episode of all of everything? And I know you were quite fond of the sequel this time.
My favorite episode of all time would probably be one of the earlier ones. I think, to be honest, it's probably not the best one, but the one that sticks on my mind is the first one I ever saw, and it wasn't. I didn't start watching it when it first came out as a series. I didn't even know it was released.
I didn't either, actually. Yeah.
So, what was the first one you saw then? Was it for episode 1, season 1, or did you just catch one and then?
It was that 15 million miles one. The one
15 million credits.
Yeah, that one, 15 million
That's
credits.
a really good one.
Right. But yeah, that's the first one that I saw, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked after that because it was hopeful and yet dark. It's like dystopian. I couldn't figure out the world. Like obviously they're riding these bikes and they're doing their service for the greater good to keep the planet alive or whatever they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And there's just this tier system, and I'm like trying to figure everything out. Like it got me involved right away because he's got this way of like, you think you know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on. So you got to keep trying to figure out what's going on. Like you can't let it go. Like that's how I like engage with it. Like he's a big tease. He's like drawing me in constantly with this. And that episode did it because still to this day, I have conversations with people like, what do you think the outside world was like? Like seriously, because you know, the whole episode, we didn't see the outside world.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it, but I don't think they ever explicitly state why they are doing all the cycling.
No, not really. Like you knew it was producing.
Yeah,
like
you assumed it must be to produce energy. But...
Yeah, it definitely served a purpose for everybody on the outside. And everybody apparently had to do it to some level. It was like a caste system. You all had to put in your time to do it. It was like what humans did to keep the planet going, so to speak. But inside that time that you served was like a caste season, like of bullies and credits and stuff that happened. It was like a micro universe inside a universe, you know. It was like it.
And you get charged money to turn off the TV.
Yeah, they were in total control. You were gonna, that's the thing too. Like all that information coming at you. Yeah, but
like everything costs money.
But I cut you off there, Cats, and I didn't mean to. So which one was it? That one? No, the different one.
It was White. I think it's called White Christmas.
Is it? Wait, the one with the murderer that they make him say his whole scene, and then it's the TV, the radio in the kitchen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With John Hammond. Okay, that one. Yeah.
That really gripped me. When I first saw it, it was on around about Christmas time here, and I just thought it was a Channel 4 Christmas special. I must have been like a minute after it first started, and I thought, this is really good. Channel 4 have written a great program here. And it wasn't until afterwards, like months afterwards, that I realized that it was part of like this whole wider Black Mirror thing. And but I'd remembered the show because I thought it was that good when I watched it the first time. So yeah, I'll probably go with that. Maybe I know it's probably not considered the best, but for me, I enjoyed it so much. It probably is what brought me back to the rest of them.
Mm.
I would probably say White Christmas as well. Because the bit at the end when they're showing John Hamm just when he's out walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been blocked for
Yes.
everyone. That
Yeah.
image has just always stayed with me because
Just the way
his
that they,
life is effectively over.
mm-hmm, the way they
No
use
one's going to
it.
talk to him because
Yeah,
one, they can't. I don't think they can understand him anyway,
right.
and
And
two,
then
they already know that this is a really bad person.
exactly, because his was red. It wasn't even white. It was like convicted, like
Yeah.
foul, like never coming back to society was his punishment. The other
Yeah.
guy, his was white. His was like, remember the wife or the girl put the restraining order on him, and all of a sudden, like he can't go near anybody. How effective is that when you get a restraining order, right? They just push a
Yeah.
button and you can't go anywhere near anyone. Like nobody sees you, you can't interact. Like they just took care of it. They don't trust you to do it on your own anymore. They just took care of it. Well, that was a very unsettling in the way that played on trying to get
That's the one with the blurry faces and stuff.
yeah, and it was
Yeah,
trying to
was
get
rough.
the criminal to actually remember the crime and what really happened. And again, he had a totally different, like the way he had blocked it all out of what happened, and we're watching the story unfold from two different perspectives, and in the end it was all just all just a Bobby technique, all just like the police actually using this technique to find out what actually happened and to get him to confess so that they could do his punishment, just like, and to use the other criminal, John Hammond, to do it was as part of his punishment and his deal. Like, that was quite the twist too when we figured that part out at the end, but that it was an exceptional episode. Now I'm trying to remember if you and I did that one together or if we because we did do one like from around that time and I can't remember. But for those of you watching, there's a playlist of every single one in the description because we've done them all, and some of them I've done twice. Mousy, like I know Charlie's favorite episode because we've already talked about that, middle. But I'm going to get to his second favorite next. I'm going to put him on the spot. But what was your favorite from any of the seasons?
Oh, well, that's a hard one to pick. San Junipero, that was a good one, but I think Demon 79 actually.
Oh, from season
probably 6. Yeah, is probably one of my favorites. It's hard to pick just one. It really is. But yeah, Demon 79, that was a really good one.
Yeah, what did you like about it the most? A lot of people are saying like that whole season 6 was such a throwback because remember it was Black Mirror and Red Mirror, whatever it was going to be, and it was like a different take on it. And then he came back with season 7 going very old school, back to his original roots of technology infused emotional drama, like emotional roller coasters.
I remember with Demon 79, he was trying to create a sort of like an old style sort of Hammer horror sort of film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did actually, and all of season 6 he had some bit of a throwback to that if you think about it. Like they all had that, like Katz brought up earlier, that Twilight Zone feel where but it was more like Twilight Zone with creature feature kind of mixed in,
and that one wasn't really tech heavy at all, and it was like that was really good. Like I really enjoyed that.
But it was really like a slap in the face on what really goes on in that genre, like the making of horror movies and the whole production of it. Like it really was like kind of a rip the Band-Aid off. And I kind of got a lot of snark from Charlie out of that one. Like it seemed like he had stuff to say about that genre itself, but without saying it. Like I really want to see if he does anything else.
I mean, that's a sort of episode you need to sort of watch it on its own merits, sort of separate from all the other Black Mirror episodes because whereas Black Mirror the series has always been sort of technology driven.
Right.
That one, it's like a throwback to a less technologically advanced age, and it's more the mystical.
Yeah.
So
Well, kind of like White Bear too. That even though there was technology involved, it was more emotional, and that's the one where about a criminal again, with some offenses against children, and it was like they're trying to find the appropriate punishment, and is the punishment worse than the actual crime? And like,
That's like the public shaming one.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you? Yeah. Do you become worse than the criminal? Like, when you're actually dealing with something that horrible. And it was very emotional, but it was more about the acting and the emotions in, what the actual people unrelated to technology were going to do. Like we're going to do, and where they were coming from. So it was pretty harsh that way. But I agree with you. You would, like most episodes, you can watch them all stand alone. It's not like, even the sequel to the USS Callister, you could watch that by yourself and get the whole thing. That
Yeah.
you don't need to watch the first one to watch it, which is kind of brilliant for a sequel, to pull. And I wonder if it's going to do more sequels.
I mean, I think you do need to get some context on what's the actor's name? Is it Jesse Plemons?
Yeah, but I think
That's his name.
because it does a little bit of throwback, right, Cats, into him creating this other world and how he met the other guy, it kind of builds it in, which I thought was brilliant how he did that. It builds the pre-part in all during the episode. Like, it lays out what happened in the first part bit by bit, but adds you more context from even before that.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really
what I
clever.
mean? It was really, it definitely was really fun. So Charlie, we know your favorite was Metalhead, but what about the number two? You have a close number two? So I know you haven't watched too many of them.
Probably a tie between the one we did, Plaything, and Beyond the Sea.
Beyond the Sea. I don't hear anyone mention that one very much, but that was really, I enjoyed that one a lot. What did
I
you like?
love space horror.
You liked it because it was space?
Yeah, and like when we did our challenge, saying how I won most of them, but one of them was that
Good Indian Hey Cats.
when we all picked worst ways to die, and it was in space. Beyond the Sea was a lot like that. It was just, and I just read a Stephen King related short story about it too, about just certain death in space and nothing to go back to on Earth anyway, and just a ticking clock, and that's just horrifying.
Yeah.
But I really did like Plaything because I'm more actor oriented, and that really put the actors, instead of effects or anything like that, it was just about the actors, really.
It was that lead actor actually really made, like, he just played uncomfortable really well. Like, this is a guy who didn't fit in his own skin. He was all nerdy, and then he gets this whole power thing of taking care of these stronglets, in this whole, like, being the receptor of their coming, to life in this planet. Like, he's actually being manipulated by these little creatures. Like it's like an alien takeover, in my opinion. Like, it's like a new take on the Martians come and get one person to represent them on the planet, and they don't know the evil that they do, like old school black and white horror on that. Well,
And it took me 2 viewings to realize he got arrested on purpose. I really couldn't, for some reason, I was blind to that, and it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it was also the big gory on the horror end when he actually took the drill to his head. Like I was like, Charlie, that's unnecessary. Brooker, stop that. I don't need to get no
Is it unnecessary?
Yeah, like I did. Yeah, not so much. The emotional roller coaster turned off. I don't need the physical illness on top of it. Yeah. But all in all, did I mean, Cats, especially since you said you've watched all, how do you feel like season 7 is connecting the episodes together? If you had to pull out, what the heck? I mean, if you've watched all the seasons, there is a popular theory out there, and I'm wondering if you hit on it. So,
Do you mean how's it connecting to previous episodes
or just altogether, just in this season, like
as a season?
if you had to pick, like, like, I guess the question is, what the heck is Charlie trying to tell us in season 7? Like, is there a common thing that is?
See, I'm rubbish at this because I know you are so super aware of all the Easter eggs now it knits together. I'm aware of, like, there are subtle references and stuff, but I do generally see them as just like individualized stories. And I probably miss a lot of the nuances. So what is he trying to tell us? Oh God. Well, I mean, if you look at, what was it, Common People to start with, and then if you look at the USS Callister and the Thronglet one, I forget the Playthings, was it? In all of those, what you've actually got is the technology superseding the humanity and almost taking over the humanity, becoming or merging with the humans, haven't you? So is it the danger of, I don't know, not being able to tell the difference between what's between artificial intelligence and real people, or something like that?
Yeah, yes, I think that, and I think probably season 8, that might be somewhere he actually goes, like you said, with the AI. Well, for me, I think it was a pronounced statement on us not being able to turn off the information. Like, if I look at every single episode, that was a thing. There was no shut off switch for everything that was happening as far as the technology. Like you said, even in Common People, although they signed up for their service, right? This service still had total control. There was no way, like, for them to do anything about it. They were in the grips of it, they and just being dragged along. You got to buy this, you got to do this, to get what you want. Even though they willingly signed up for it, there's no off switch. Like, there was no, oh, can we just take that bag and and go back to our normal lives? The same thing with Eulogy, right, Clarence? Like, once he engaged in that technology, he couldn't just say, no, I was inside the room, when he clearly had to deal with the fact that he's got pictures now and it's showing him, no, you were outside the room. No, you said this. No, you did this. No, she wasn't talking to that guy. You were talking to that girl. Like, and he couldn't, like, and you see him, the actor, right? One of my best parts is, like, you could see it on his face, like he's just looking for the off button. He's just like, I just don't want to do this. This is like,
he was.
no. In with the one we did, Charlie, with that guy, like, he was so invested in it. There's just definitely, once he starts plugging those things into his head, there's no way to turn that off. Like, they seem to have total control of him. Once, like, I'm trying to figure out when it actually happened with him that they actually started to get control, because it's very subtle in the beginning, like, as a game, and he's playing and they're talking and he's fascinated.
I'd almost venture to say almost immediately.
Right. It's like they're so cute, and he just opened himself up to them, and that was it. He was a goner, right? Like, it's just, that's it. Yeah. But yeah, for me, it's about not being able to. Our society right now is at a point, the world, everywhere, in all of our countries, to where we can't shut the noise out. There's no way. We can't turn it off. Like, you would be, and if you try, like, you're now outside the norm. You know what I mean? Although we all recognize the fact that we need it, right? We need to, what do they say? Like, to tune in and turn off, or whatever. Like, find a quiet space, shut the phone off, shut the TV off, shut the internet, like, shut it all, shut down the noise for a little bit. But then you got that incredible feeling that you're missing something. Like, you're no longer, it makes you feel guilty because you're no longer part of whatever's going on, right? And you got to play catch up. And it's like, kind of like a rat on a wheel syndrome, like we got right now with information technology. So I wonder where he's going to go with that. Because, like, the other thing is the definitely putting into perspective that it's a multiverse now, and we're not looking for, like, the time. A lot of people spend time trying to figure out the timeline of Black Mirror, whether all the episodes are like in an order of some kind, like what happened when, and it's pretty hard since most of them have time jumping and going in and out of bodies and before and afters and like multiple days. Like, how do you do that? Like,
Yeah, but then at the same time, an episode like Nosedive that couldn't exist in the same world as Hated in the Nation.
no, right? It couldn't, and the timing of it, because Nosedive, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that Brooker, not only just the thing with David Cameron when he first brings out, and that actually absolutely was a thing, like foretelling, but with Nosedive, at the time that he did that, when that came out, it was leaked about China's actually credit service about, that they were doing with individuals and young people at the time. Do you remember this, Clarence? Like,
Yeah.
And it just fit so perfectly because that's what this whole episode was about, a credit system like that. And here we are, we had a real story in real life that it was actually happening in another country, like, and they were actually starting to use it. It actually affected your credit rating to get an apartment and whether you got a good job. If you were an upstanding citizen, a Chinese citizen, like, if you were obeying all the rules and all, and you got all your credits, it was going to be really good. That kind of freaked me out when I was reading all about that actually really existing. And I'm like, how well informed is Charlie? Like, really?
Yeah.
And how far in advance does he write all these stuff? Like, because he's saying he has like most of the ideas and everything laid out for season 8 already. And I wonder how long we're going to wait. I hope it's not another 2 years, but it could be.
I hope he continues to. I know he doesn't completely do this, but he seems to be pretty good at not putting politics in it a whole awful lot, like everybody does with everything. A little is necessary, but
you know what? He has a way of doing it, like internationally, worldwide, like the issues that are more important to everyone as a human being, instead of just like politics as far as what it is now, like the one side versus the other all the time, like making a stance for one part or the other. But as far as strong statements on political issues or worldwide, I think he does actually get it in.
Yeah, they're stark and to the point. They're not like a whole episode about I hate the president.
The whole thing about ecology, like he's definitely made some strong statements about that, even with my most beloved Hated in the Nation episode with the bees. Yeah.
And the Waldo moment was a whole statement on
the
political system.
Yeah, on the whole system. Definitely. You got to watch that one, Charlie. Yeah. The Waldo moment was, wow. You're right. That was the whole big, and it really was brutal about it too. It brought the ugliness of it right to the forefront, like right to the whole thing. As he does often with people who get power, give them a little bit of power and watch what happens. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. We're all flawed. It's like that question that people ask you, like, if you were given $1 million right now, what would you do? Like, something like that. It's like, the only thing I could say is I can guarantee that whatever I say now, what I would do is not what I would do in the moment. Like, there's just no way I can actually comprehend that, to have that much money at my fingertips to do whatever I want in the, I don't know, whatever decision I made, I'm sure I would regret and want to do it different, for sure. Well, I don't know. So is there anything in particular any of you want to say about any of the episodes, future, like especially here in season 7 in particular, that you had thought about, or just anything you want to say in general about it? Because I don't,
I just.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Sorry, after you.
I just noticed more in season 7 how more things connected. It's like you kept seeing things from different episodes start merging in more so. where you could actually tell this is all the same universe. This is all the same place, and there might be different levels of it, but it's all kind of connected this time.
Yeah,
And
especially
I did enjoy that.
there were a lot of references to Hotel Reverie and Bête Noire in the other episodes of season
Yeah.
7, which was kind of weird. Like, because that doesn't usually happen. Usually, all the Easter eggs are from prior seasons, and prior episodes outside of the season. But in this one, like the candy bars and the company and everything was mentioned in other episodes too. In the whole, like the premiere of Hotel Reverie was announced in one of the other episodes. I forget which one of it, but one of the other episodes that we did, they actually had references to that. That was like coming up and showing. I think it was the last one, like the one before the last one that we did. Well, so that was kind of weird. Is that what you mean, Mousy? Like
Yeah.
seeing like play out like inside the season instead of waiting till next season and getting all the Easter eggs about it.
Yeah, and like, just seeing it all in one season and seeing them kind of connect, and even seeing the newer episodes kind of go back to the older ones, like when Common People, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was another episode. I don't remember which season, and I can't remember the name of it. I should have looked that up. But there was another episode where the guy had to put his wife in his head, and that reminded me a lot of like Common People had the whole neurological thing.
That was the
But
one about
also,
capturing the memories of someone, like the one that
um,
was that the one about memories and what are the boundaries of memories, like because there was a shared memory kind of thing with the Nobin, and what were the actual legal boundaries of like what you could know and what you couldn't know about somebody. And
no, I think
No,
his
I
wife was like dying, and so in order to keep her alive, they actually put her in his head, like her, like she was there with him at all times, and he could cut her on and off, and
I
he
have to,
ended up getting a
yeah.
new wife.
I can't
Like
remember
I
the
said,
name. Now I know what you're talking
I
about. Yeah.
yeah, but that reminded me a lot of Common People, and it reminded me a lot of what happened with the USS Callister when she ended up with the whole crew in her head. And I was like, that's kind of interesting that it touched on, it went back, and you can kind of relate them together. And I was finding a lot of that with season 7, that you could go back to different things, and it wasn't just an Easter egg; it was just the feel of the episode.
Yeah.
There was the
Oh,
one where Miley
I think
Cyrus,
that episode was the Black Museum.
Black Museum, yes, and then there was
Yeah.
another one, Jack Ashley and something, where Miley Cyrus was the star, and like she was captured into a device, and she couldn't get out, but her whole essence was in there, like,
Yeah.
and they were dealing like with that, because there's been a lot of that, the capturing of who are you as an individual and how can that be captured and used in AI, which is that's been a common thing for years, like some of the best ones, would you bring somebody back, would you preserve it, like this one that we did with Common People, Mousy, right, where they took the person's whole essence, did brain surgery where they were going to, like, part of them were going to be missing afterwards, and then just reapplied it with all of the bells and whistles of a complete advertising system to make money.
They charge you for it and all that. It's like, and just keep making it so impossible to stay ahead. That was just crazy.
Well, the technology alone that they're talking about there, of mapping your whole essence of what makes
Yeah.
you, like just being able to do that, like trying to actually capturing your personality, so to speak, like the whole essence of you, and being able to map that onto another device somehow.
Yeah.
Like that's really, really creepy, and it's been quite a theme over and over, like you said, in different episodes in different ways. Um, Even in the one we just did in Hotel Reverie, where she's there but she's not there. They're mapping her whole essence onto some AI thing in this movie, and she's interacting with everyone. That was such an emotional play. I really liked the way he did that. Like he took so many twists and turns in that, especially in the ending, where everyone realizes, although the technology is so great, the emotional impact it has on people that use it, like the connection with things that are real or not real. But is the connection real? Like if you feel it and they feel it, or they act like they feel it, and there's like things are growing and generating there, like the effect that it had in, you know, just sending the telephone at the end so that they could talk to the AI actress, who's now by accident semi-sentient, maybe would you say, like because of that, like, but the fact that those involved actually acknowledged the emotional impact that that would have had on the people involved, and actually made that kind gesture for them, you know, created a technology for them to speak again. That kind of blew me away. That was like a nod to them knowing like what they did, and maybe it wasn't such a great idea to put people through that, you know. Even if it made a hit, right? Like, you know, because we saw in other episodes how the premiere went off and it was so successful and everything. But yeah, well, I think that's all I have to say, believe it or not, about this. How about you guys? I know, Kat, you've got to go soon too. I know you had some limited time. But
Well, just gone 6. I did want to mention though that when you were saying before that this season is the one season, and I can't remember any others. So I know you remember these episodes far better than I do. So you might be able to come up with one, but I can't think of one that at the end of it has made me feel as depressed as common people. I don't know. Like, do you think there has been one? I think maybe there's one other from the last series when you've had the 2 astronauts in space and.
oh yes, and they went into their, but again went into bodies back and forth with their essence, right? Like on land, you know, they come back to Earth like with a switch. They turn on the robot, and that's me, you know. But you're right. But the thing about common people, what was so, I mean, for me, so distraught is the actual relatability to real life now. Like you can actually put yourself in a position in what happened to them during the process. They're trying to stay together. She's trying to stay alive and be herself, right? And then the emotional toll of the expense of it, and that rat race we all get involved in on, you know, some people just having to go check to check, and there's never enough money, and you're scrambling, and the sacrifices you make, all portrayed by the feet, right, cats? You see the feet in the beginning, so happy and rubbing up, and the feet are separate more and more and more, and there's less time together, and she's sleeping more to recharge. In what they were fighting for, the whole reason they did the technology is those moments that they had in the life that they have, which is slowly being eaten away and diminished and taken over by everything else to just try to keep it going, especially at the end with the closing of that door. And you know what he's going to do. Like, you just know what he's going to do, you know, in all the things that he was making fun of people for doing, and now he's doing on screen to make money, to pay for this, to be put in that situation. It was like, it was completely relatable when you think about how things are now with the limit of time that we have in, you know, we never have enough time with our families in real life. You know, we try to spread like thing. There's a big concentration now on is it the quality of my life, not the fact that I have my life, but the quality of my life right now. So I hear you on that. It was very disturbing because it was so relatable to real without having the technology involved. It's still a situation that so many people are dealing with, like right now. Yeah, kind of horrifying. Yeah. Well, yes, Scott, I agree with you. Like Scott says, let me just pull this up. He said one of that the Black Mirror stories work so well is that they are not totally impossible to imagine and often scarily plausible. Yes. Yes.
Well, that was
absolutely. Would you guys
well,
agree?
that was always the concept.
Mm-hmm.
That Black Mirror was a world that was just one click away.
Exactly. It's like,
it's not exactly a show designed to be cathartic.
Exactly. He's always got there's always some article somewhere about some new technology that's very reminiscent of something he's talking about here. Like this Nubin thing, like this is not out of reach at all. Like we're watching it real time actually become uh, a possibility. And a lot of things that Charlie has put out there for us to see, we're seeing now. Like it's like nothing, like it's already here. You know?
I'm interested that you call it a Nubin. I
It's
would
from
say
one of
Nubbin.
Nubbin, oh, Nubin. Yeah, you're probably right, because I mean, English is actually, you guys, as an American, I have to admit.
Nubian sounds too close to Nubian, and that's just not even close to where we're at.
No, it's not. It's like a throwback. You're right, Charlie. It's like that's what I'm just trying to do for myself. I'm trying to go back to as simple as that is. Like, let's go. But you're right. I'm going to go with the English way because, I mean, it is your language first.
The English way is the way. Always remember that.
Yes, yes. Yes, I often, as an American, have to agree with that. It is probably the proper pronunciation is probably Nubbin, but
Absolutely.
I've never
But you
put
can-
myself out there as
and-
being totally proper anyway, ever. Like so.
And
But you
colour
can
has
butter
a
off
U
with
in
your
it.
aluminium. I'm not going that far.
No, I'm not either. It's aluminum. Just get over it. Like no, like that's
I just call it tinfoil.
and you can too, Mousy, as long as you don't wear a hat. Me that of you. We're gonna put you on one of Katz's shows.
Let me just hide my little hat here. Shove it back here.
No. That's like so.
Doesn't fit over my ears.
So that was very interesting, Cats. Like, how about anybody else? Like, is there anything with the season or one of the other episodes that kind of stuck out? I know it's tough, right? Because there's so many of them. How about if I now that was a very broad question and not very fair of me because it's like let's talk about the whole universe like in 5 seconds. Very unfair. Well, how about just related to the topic of how society feels to you now, like how the world feels to you now, the way that we're living in 2025, so to speak, stuff that's going on all around us. Is there an episode that kind of like does that? Because I'm with Cats on that. Like, common people really got me there with that one.
It hit home real close. Common People Eulogy and the USS Callister were all like, man, that could happen, and that would just be kind of wild.
I would say Hotel Reverie. That sounds like that could very easily become the new way we make movies in the next few years.
Aren't we seeing it right here on YouTube alone? Our own contract, our own content at any minute could be taken over by an AI-driven channel that will just redo it with versions of ourselves saying what we say and doing what we do, and there wouldn't be a damn thing we could do about it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of weird. Like I'm watching the platforms all try to like fight against it, but actually we see Hollywood, the big industries, we see them doing it already, right, Clarence? Like we see it, like in
they just there's the AI actress now. I can't remember the name.
There is, and I remember the lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson. They fought against that from the beginning. She was offered the first contract to use her voice in her image artificially, and they would pay her big money to do it because like her numbers and everybody, like her popularity. And I remember the big controversy about it. Like, how is that going too far on an actor? Like what does that take away from what they do? Like how do you like? Can you imagine being a creator and somebody just saying, can I just like carbon copy it? Like just what you look like and what you sound like, that's going to be enough. Like you don't really have any thought process into your creativity, right, Cats? Like, right, Clarence? We like, right, Mousy, Charlie? Like we don't do anything. It's just what we look like and how we talk. Right? We have nothing else like to put in there. To actually think that they can put the sentient, like to diminish like what you do. Like, for me, it's very offensive. It's very, very offensive to take that our actual creativity is the smallest part of it.
Yeah, the most easily reproduced.
Yes, like they could just like take care of it in a second. You know, it is like I can understand why actors and actresses and artists and musicians around the world and even commentary creators, it's happening to us, like are offended by it in a way. Like how could you possibly say that we're so easily replaced? You know, but isn't that the same thing that other industries have had to deal with automation in with robots and stuff replacing people's jobs, you know?
Yeah.
And now they're just taking it a step forward. It's like we're going to replace your whole thinking process because we can map it. We can predict what you're going to say now. We just have to watch you and put your words in for a couple of weeks, and we're going to know exactly what you're going to do in any given situation. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
We don't need you to work at all. We'll just do it all.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's what season 8's going to be about, to be honest. The is it real or is it Memorex?
Yeah, so I'd say Hotel Reverie is it Reverie? I don't know.
I think it's Reverie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the episode that is genuinely closest to happening.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd say the episode that maybe makes the best commentary on where we are right now, I would say is probably Common People.
Yeah. Emotionally, I think if you want to talk like industry wise, yes, like for Hotel Reverie, yeah, bang on. But emotionally and like I guess the societal as a people, Common People, definitely. The human effect of what's going on with all of us is dealing with that. Yeah, you're so right, Scott. Like I love your comments because you like bang on with this. Some of the YouTube shorts of late night talk shows are AI remixes, so we're already most of the way there, right? And you know what, Scott? Like I don't think I'm like that. I know I'm a little naive. I wear my rose-colored glasses about certain things, but I don't know if it's real or not anymore when I'm watching these videos on any of the platforms on X or anything. Like they even have like people saying things and it's so like I have to take a step back. Like, did they actually say that? Did they actually do that? And how that's actually pretty dangerous. Like I don't know how you feel, Katz and Clarence and Charlie and even Mousy.
I don't know. Is Craig Ferguson real?
Yeah.
Because I never heard of him, and then suddenly he's all over my YouTube shorts.
Didn't he used to be like a talk show host and then he wasn't? Is this his big comeback? I don't know. What the heck? Like what the heck? Like is he now getting popular? Like I don't know. But being from an area on YouTube where misinformation is the thing that really pisses us all off. Can we say that? That's the one thing we all have in common here.
Absolutely.
Like, how offensive is this that we can't tell when watching a video if they said it or not? How do we prove facts? How do we document the history of what happened and what they said and what they did going forward when they muddy the water like this?
It's such
just imagine a year from now. Jeez.
Yeah. It's going to be such a big problem that I can see that there will have to be laws brought in about using somebody's likeness in AI as some kind of deterrent, because like you say, it's getting that good. You could have realistic videos of politicians saying things that they just never said, or medical experts saying things they've just never said, and it could get really dangerous.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a video somebody puts out of a sitting U.S. president or a sitting Russian leader saying we are sending nukes to D.C. or something, and it's totally made in someone's basement, and off we go.
Yeah. No, and that's very and it's a simple answer, and it's often the thing that frustrates me the most with this kind of stuff is that there's not actually enough forethought ahead of time, and it would have been a simple thing to actually say there's not a problem with using any of this as long as it's identified as what it is. The backtracking to force them to identify that that's what it is ruins their market, ruins their manipulation, ruins their control. So now they're fighting against it. And now they have platforms and the ability, because they got big enough with the technology. Whereas if in the beginning, when the technology started, if they said we got no problem with any of this, as long as there is an identifier for it. In other words, every single piece of it that comes out that is AI influence of say 10 or 20% has a tag on it, an automatic mandatory tag, which could prevent misinformation from spreading and give you something to go back to.
Yeah.
Like,
Then you'd have to have a tag on like dating sites and filter pictures of
and what would
people.
the problem be with that? Would that not also solve a lot of a catfishing, a
Oh, yeah.
heartache, thinking you're going to be sitting down with a person who's blonde, blue-eyed, and 120 pounds, and ending up with like a brunette who's like 280 and the wrong sex? Like, come on, like, what's wrong with solving that problem? like I said, it keeps people from taking advantage. Having here's my problem with the world in general. What the heck is wrong with calling it what it is anyway? Like, what are you so afraid of labeling everything for what it actually is? It is what it is. You make a mistake, you say you're sorry, you take accountability. Like, what is wrong with that? What's with all this? Like, but then I can't manipulate. Why are we feeding into the manipulation machine? Like, we're not victims here. Make them call it what it is. The whole thing gets solved if they tag it for what it is. You want to take other people's art and recreate it as something? Tag it. That's what you did. Because sorry, Charlie, that's exactly what you did. So, like, what's wrong with saying it? And the dating sites. I mean, boo-hoo, they can't, take advantage of people. Like, I ain't crying about that. Is anybody else? I mean, I can't be alone in this, right? Like, who the heck is crying about it besides the people taking advantage of it and manipulating and hurting others? Like, really, like, we should demand better. Just call it what it is, and I think problem solved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they won't. I can guarantee they won't, because there's no money. There's no room. If there's no room to manipulate, there's no room to take advantage of and shake down. And apparently, I guess it's because I'm American. I'm just used to the fact that money talks, and the rest of us can just forget about it. Like, as long as they're making money on it, they ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, and this AI phenomenon's going way faster than anybody's comfortable in admitting, and I think it's kind of like handing the controls of the spaceship to a chimpanzee, and we're the chimpanzee.
Exactly. And what does it hurt to identify it for what it is? Seriously. Do you think that people still aren't going to watch it? Of course they are. It's easy. You think people still aren't going to do it? Of course they are. It's an easy, cheap way to make content and to do stuff. And it's a whole different genre of its own, right? But what's wrong with calling it that and putting it where it belongs instead of in the information highway where it's really making a mess, But just novel idea there, like a little forethought, but God, no, we can't do that. We'll see. I'm all for legislation, like you said, Cats. It needs to be regulated, and I'm not really big on making restrictions on people. I think but it needs to be regulated in some way to at least be able to identify it for what it is immediately. What are we gonna do? Like, take their fingerprints? Like, what are we gonna have? Like, like.
You can't stop making people. You can't stop people making the content and getting it out there. I'm sure, but so it would have to be just some kind of deterrent. And again, I don't know, I feel like it, but what Charlie said there was the exact example I was thinking in my head. You could have a picture. Somebody could do a brilliant Putin, bang it on YouTube, just saying, we are launching the nukes in 2 minutes, or we've just launched them. You're all going to die. Or even Trump saying, nuclear missiles are heading our way. You've got 2 minutes to evacuate the city.
Exactly.
Imagine the trouble that would cause.
Exactly. And that's why an identifier. And what's wrong with that? They could still create the content they want. It's just identified for exactly what it is. Like, nobody. I'm not for telling them they can't use it and they can't do it. I just want to stop it from doing like that kind of stuff, the misinformation stuff, and not being able to tell what's real and what's not. is a really big issue, and it's going to affect, like you said, every layer, and most importantly, in international relationships, world relationships, war, political divides. Right now, anyone from any one of our countries in charge could use AI to completely manipulate us into anything. Our president himself has been putting out AI videos on his Truth Social. I don't know if he thinks it's funny, but for me, I don't know about you, Charlie, but it scared the heck out of me. That he
I've
was
seen
just,
some of them. They are cringeworthy.
are they cringeworthy? Like and it's just like, and he's like I don't know, whether he thinks it's funny or what, but his acceptance of it, and it's just like whoa, like where are we going with this? It's a bit scary. Yeah, it really is. What is it? What is that? What is it? Med beds. Oh, Trump announcing med bed. Yes, that. Yeah, what's that? Like, exactly, Scott. Like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, but we'll see where. I mean, I think that's one of the warnings that Charlie has for us in multiple episodes, in multiple seasons, about this is AI takeover. But basically, what humans are going to do with it, what they're doing with it now with misinformation, is really bad. A total misuse of it, I think. But that's how it goes, right? Especially in the Black Mirror multiverse. I think on that we're going to call it at like an hour and a half plus. Like, what do you guys think? You got more? I mean, I could sit here all day. Like, you know me. Like Kat says, I'm a little obsessed. I may not remember the exact names of everything, but I am completely obsessed. I'm completely obsessed with it.
You know that you are. I think the biggest. I mean, I consider myself to be a massive fan, but I think you're like the next level. You're like super.
I think
super
that,
fan.
you know what it is? It's my tendency to over research stuff, just like I do with my true crime and all. It's just like what I do, so I had to take it like that little extra. Like I had to know.
She's a booker hooker.
I'm a broker hooker. Definitely. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I just definitely a brookie for sure. Like he's like when everybody says like if you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be? He's like my favorite one to say. But I actually know that if I ever like was standing next to him in a coffee shop, I wouldn't know what to say or do. I would just be sitting there gobsmacked with my mouth open, drooling like an idiot, and regretting the day for the rest of my life. The day, telling the story over and over again. The day I stood next to Charlie Brooker and didn't say a word,
didn't say anything. No.
I probably could, and that would be it. That would be it. Like the day Bear was silent. Like, yeah, like if you could all actually even picture that, like not, like not. But yeah, no, I am a total fan. It annoys some people, but like I'm not going to apologize for it. Sorry, not sorry. Like the man's a genius as far as I'm concerned.
He is good. I don't know if you've ever seen, because you probably don't get it in America, but every year he used to do, he doesn't do anymore, but he used to do what on New Year's Eve, what he used to call the annual wipe. Basically, it was a look back of the year. That's
right.
terrible. Do you watch it, Clarence?
Yeah, I used to watch it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, start off as screen wipe for BBC Four.
I'd have to look at it. I wonder if we can find old episodes of that. I wonder if it's been archived.
I'm going to see if I can find an episode online and send you a link in the chat here.
That would be great because, like,
I think all the screen wipes are all up on YouTube.
But I mean, he's a man after my own heart too. I mean, he started with a love of comic books and all that other stuff, and then game. He was a game writer for a magazine. Like, he's a gamer too. Yeah. So,
and then always makes me think, because I used to buy like PC magazines back in the 90s, so
he was a writer.
I probably would have seen some of the cartoons he drew in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a writer for PC magazine. So like the tech thing has been a part of his life all along, which makes it such a great smash up of him putting all the things together to do this for Black Mirror. It's what he knows well, actually.
I found one. It's not a New Year one. It's just one of his wipes that isn't a New Year one, but it gives you a flavour of what he does. I've just popped it in the chat.
Yeah. Well, his humor is spot on. I mean, I enjoy watching his interviews too because he has a way of playing with words that people don't catch until after they watch the interview again later. Like,
Did
and
you,
he does, yeah,
Claire? Did you ever watch the TV Go Home?
yeah, I did
The
actually.
link I sent to you.
I do like that, and
It's
I did Cats. I did watch Severance finally. Like I did.
Oh,
I loved it. I actually loved it. I know you recommended that to me like a year or so, like a year ago or so, but I did finally get it. I'm getting to be. I have a friend who's teaching me how to do the web thing where I can get a hold of a copy of anything, like even a newly released movie. Like maybe I shouldn't be
nice.
saying that out on YouTube.
oh, you're becoming a pirate.
No, I'm not a pirate. It's actually
Arg, matey.
no. Somebody else pirated. I just saw it. Nope. Wasn't me. I don't wear the patch. Wasn't me. Don't got the peg leg. Nope, none of that. But yeah, like you can find almost anything these days, and I kind of like that. I know the industry doesn't like it very much, but I do. I do. Well, all right. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everybody who joined us, everybody in chat, everybody who's gonna watch it later. We do get a lot of views post with all of these. I want to thank you all again, individually and as a group, for making this season of Black Mirror on my channel, especially like the best one that has ever happened. You actually, people were watching and they actually went back and watched older ones. And it made me very happy because this was a passion project of mine. I mean, I used to get like 25 views, and I was happy with that. Like there were 25 people who would talk about Charlie Brooker, and I was down for it. Like, I was, yes, come back next week. 25, yay! Like, and so, but it's a thing that is really caught on, and it's not going to die. Like there's a whole Reddit and there's a whole Discord that I link in the description there for people that really want to check out some of his older stuff or talk to people who are maybe not as obsessed as I am, but at least like have what's going on about it, and we'll have conversations about it. So it's not something that's going to go away anytime soon. I don't think. I hope not. Anyway, I hope not, because having a Charlie Brooker series to look forward to, like in a year or two, just makes all the bullshit worth it for me. I got something to look forward to coming out. And he's already talking about season 8. And here in New
Just
Jersey,
getting the hype train moving.
yeah, here in New Jersey, in the county that I live in, Netflix just bought a lot of property from a former army fort, like a whole army town, like that they used to have across town, where he's turning the bowling alley and the theater. They're all Netflix. Netflix has bought them and turned them into production studios. And I heard that Black Mirror may even actually be produced in one of those. And I'm getting very excited. The fact that the bear could be in a coffee shop standing next to him, not saying a word, could possibly happen.
I'll call ahead to security and warn them to look out for you.
Like, watch for the bear. She's coming.
Thanks, Charlie. Always got my back. I appreciate it. Thanks. Are you kidding? You'd be the one driving me there to meet him. Like, what are you kidding? Like, stop that. Like,
Well, you have to have a real Charlie with you in case shit goes awry, and you can be like, "I just met this Charlie."
I was just here for this, Charlie. Right? This is my cover. It would be a great cover. Thank you. You're volunteering, right?
Yep.
All right. This time I'm really calling it. I'm gonna push the button. Last words, anybody? I'll go around, Charlie.
Nope. Bye.
Okay. Clarence, last words. You got anything coming up on your channel you want to put out there?
Yeah, I got a few things coming up. Just getting them all put together. So hopefully, yes, should have new content by the end of the week.
Oh, awesome. And so for those of you, there's a new YouTube thing that we will have the collaborators listed on the channel. And I am trying to tag them below, but it wasn't working earlier. I think I got mousy highlighted, so you can just click it. But if I can't get it to work, I'll at least put the long links in for everybody of all the channels so that you can go check out, subscribe and check out some of Clarence's content, which I like because I've been on like Crime Watch with him, and I like watching his little bit of slap back with humor on some of the ridiculousness lately has been fun. But that brings us to you, Cats, which like although I haven't been in the chat, I've watched everything. And like you owe me some coffee, sir. Because I have spit more coffee over the last 2 weeks watching your reactions to stuff that's going on. That yeah, we got to talk.
There is some really balmy people out there. There really is. Tomorrow, if I can get it done, we're going to be looking at somebody who channels an alien, and that alien gives people real world advice, but it's just the most bizarre, stupid advice. And these people are thanking the alien, and they're making their own videos about how this alien has changed their life with his crappy advice. It's bizarre.
Oh my, well, that, jeez, that's even better than the rapture stuff. Like, all right, I'll just make sure I'm not drinking coffee when I catch that one. Like, and your other channel too. Like, would you? It's not 8 out of 10 anymore. It's
Banterbox now.
Banterbox, right? So if you're looking for the other channel he does with Doom, that just recently changed names again. You gotta throw me off. Like I'm trying to tag you. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I was teasing you about the Patrick thing when you came in. It's just like, what do I call anybody? Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, check it out. I mean, guaranteed for a laugh. Please don't be drinking or eating anything when you watch his videos. Just my own personal advice there. Not an alien. Don't make a video about me. It's just good common sense. Okay. Mouse, how about you, love?
I just got fish. That's all I got. Fish and morning streams. That's all I got going on.
Fish are amazing. Yeah.
Can I just say thanks to Arcanix in the chat? His comment, NBBA is the bomb. NBBA stands for No Blue Box Allowed. It's a series on my channel where I look at all the UK sci-fi shows that aren't called Doctor Who.
There are. Wait a minute. This is news to me as an American. You have other sci-fi in the UK besides Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Can you name one?
I know.
Apart from Black Mirror, maybe.
Well, that is UK, like Charlie's English. Yeah, that is definitely.
Yeah, UK US co-production. But shows like Equator Mass Experiment.
Torchwood.
Torchwood. Nat, I know the name.
Torchwood is one
I actually saw that. Yes, Torchwood.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah, that was actually good. I liked it.
Torchwood is a controversial one because I'm trying to decide whether this is something I should cover or not. Because
is it Doctor Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
It does get compared to it a lot, doesn't it? Like Blake Seven. Why do I know that name? It sounds very familiar, actually.
That is another UK sci-fi show.
Oh, are there any ones going on now? Like, because I know you go back to the old ones a lot, but like, what's going on now?
Anything on TV right now? That's a good question.
Because it seems like Doctor Who just like that's it. It was Doctor Who or nothing. Like seriously. I mean, even here in America, it's like a big thing.
Yeah, I can't actually think if there are any sci-fi shows on British TV at the moment other than Doctor Who.
I know they do a lot of crime drama there. Like there's a lot of good ones. Like Broadchurch is from you guys, right? Like
It is.
Yeah, that I loved that actually.
Didn't you do a version of your own called Graceland in America with David Tennant? It's basically the same thing, but with American actors and David Tennant. David Tennant. Like I watch anything with David Tennant. You know me, I'm gonna actually say he was the best Doctor. By a long way. It was brilliant.
But my favorite thing that he's doing right now is the angel thing he's doing.
Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Good Omens,
Yeah,
because Terry Pratchett's book was like one of my favorites. Like that, and then like to have Neil Gaiman come on and just like turned it into this series, and it's so delightful, and it's some of his best work because he is the snarky bee. I'm sorry, like this man walks in snark, he breathes in snark, he's just the essence of satirical.
Yeah, it's just him and Michael Sheen.
Yeah, and he's a great actor
If
too.
anyone hasn't seen it, they should absolutely watch Unscripted.
And even Unscripted is phenomenal. But you should actually read the book Good Omens too. Like it was one of the best reads. Like, yeah. All right. Well, on that, okay, this time I'm really pushing the button. Sorry, guys. Like I have a 2-hour thing. I don't know what it is about me, but every time I say something's going to be an hour and a half, it ends up like way towards the 2-hour thing. It just
So we got a little sidetracked.
Yeah. Well, it's because I talk too much. Everybody knows that. Like, all right. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Check out all the channels, and like check out the playlist for Black Mirror. Like, do yourself a good favor if you've never seen it. Just watch one episode. Don't knock it until you try it, because it will actually have something for everybody. I think eventually, give it a whirl. And then, when you become obsessed, come on over. We got a place for you. We got a place for you over here. No judgment at all. All right, guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for participating, and I hope you'll stay for the ride with the next season and doing other stuff. You all have great channels, and I love working with each of you. So on that, thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.